a story. This unknown comes out of nowhere, leads the pack.
I gotta get the new one too.
I
haven't updated that.
Did I
yet.
tell you I watched this on the plane to
He's about
DC?
455 yards.
I haven't
away.
watched it in
He's
years.
Like 2 hours.
I love it.
So good.
I was watching it when my mom was in town last time, and her husband, 78 years old, never seen it.
I forgot that it was Billy Barone.
Oh,
Beat the ball.
that's a peach, huh?
Yeah, it's
Gotta
great.
beat the ball, Danny.
Well, it's kind of difficult with you talking like that.
Okay. That's all.
Not talking.
It's such a good. It's there's so many inappropriate parts I didn't realize.
So much good stuff.
The irony was we were at. Where were we? Oh, I was talking about taking the dude to the pool, and he hadn't pooped yet. And now he's like, if you take him to the pool,
Caddyshack.
it's gonna be like Caddyshack. I was like, have you watched that? She's like, yeah. You have. Anyway.
All right, we are back after a little hiatus. Not much of a hiatus, but I had a little trip to the Pacific Northwest, and Ryan took a little adventure out to Hawaii.
He doesn't like to talk about his trip to Bandon at all.
It's all I've talked about for a week.
Let's introduce our guest.
Yes, on the phone with us for this podcast is the creator behind ClaytonComments.
Hashtag ClaytonComments.
Hashtag ClaytonComments. Mr. Clayton Brown, welcome, buddy. How you doing?
Hashtag hello.
Hashtag
Love it.
hello.
So Clayton joins us from cold California, right? Isn't it chilly out right now?
It's a little chilly. I mean, it got up to 90 today here in the vicinity of the Rancho Cucamonga, but it is a little chilly tonight. It's like 58 right now.
I think I'll forever enjoy that area, especially over the Fontana side. The first Chick-Fil-A that you get to, I used to drive all the way from Vegas regularly, once a week we're talking, to just go, and I would do a mass order of Chick-Fil-A and I'd bring it back and we'd microwave it. It was so good.
We weren't lucky like we are now.
I know. We're so blessed to have Chick-Fil-A.
It's a good thing.
Did you know that they bake the sauce into the batter? Just real quick. Just got to take a second for this. I know it's not golf related. I don't care.
That's okay.
But I never realized this. I don't know, Clayton, if you knew this. But the fried chicken, they actually take the Chick-fil-A sauce, and that's baked into the batter for the fried chicken.
Is that why the Chick-fil-A sauce tastes so good with it?
That's right.
So
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
We can't have you doing that, Clayton. You have to participate.
Is that us or him?
I don't know.
Bueller.
Clayton.
hello?
There you
Yes,
are.
there you are. Now we got you.
Man.
Lost you there for a second. Yeah, I know.
Swing and a
I was
miss.
saying,
This is, we are breakfast ball related. You can re-tee that and try again.
no, that's what I was saying. No, on the chicken batter, I was saying if I dip it in the sauce, is it double? I'm getting double the sauce.
You're getting double the sauce. It's funny.
It's double sauce.
I never realized it. So Allie loves the Chick-fil-A sauce and I don't like it. And then I got one that had Chick-fil-A sauce and I was like, oh. And then I had them remake it. And the next one I got had, like, I could finally taste the flavor. And I asked the guy in the front, I was like, hey, do you guys use the Chick-fil-A sauce in the batter for the fried? And he, yeah. You didn't know that? I'm like, no, I've never worked at a Chick-fil-A. I don't know why I would know that.
And then he went back around the corner and was like, do you believe somebody just asked me if we used the Chick-fil-A sauce in the batter? It's a freaking fast food chicken sandwich.
It doesn't rain in San
You
Diego.
know what I love? They do more business than all the other guys in 6 days instead of 7.
They do. I love that.
Kill it.
I absolutely do.
Kill it.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to move on from Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
As much as I love Chick-fil-A, we're going to move on and get to some golf topics. Clayton's here. He is. Why don't you tell everybody what you do, Clayton? I don't want to.
Okay, guys, listeners, thanks for coming on. Chasing Daylight. Thanks for having me, Matt, Ryan. So I am the territory manager for Wilson Sporting Goods for Southern California, and I assist with parts of Nevada and Northern California as well. So that is what I do. I handle all the sales with a lot of the accounts, golf courses, green grass, online e-tailers, premium partners, and all that other boring stuff that you are now sleeping on. So yeah.
Nice. And I mean,
You're not just a salesman. You actually.
correct.
You can swing.
Yeah. Not only you're not just a salesman. I mean, there are quite a few of the salesmen I think that want to be great golfers. You actually are a great golfer, and I can vouch for that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know you're in the middle of the swing change, so you don't feel that way, but
Hey, you lit up LVCC,
he did.
so
He redeemed. That was redemption. That was all about redemption. That round.
That was a vendetta round. I
Yeah.
didn't have my good stuff, but
No.
I was on a mission.
I loved it.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about. I don't want to get long into it because the people who've been following me on Instagram are probably just sick of it. But I spent 5 days last week up in Oregon playing some pretty amazing golf courses. One of them was Eugene Country Club, which, according to Golf Digest, is a top 5 course in Oregon. My opinion, it's a top 3 course in Oregon. I mean, I haven't played, but the 5 that are ranked top 5, but it's definitely better than Bandon Dunes and Old McDonald, in my opinion. And from Eugene, we headed south and then west over to Bandon, played a little bit on the preserve, a little par 3 course, 13 holes that is magical. I'm not a Ben Core Crenshaw
You're such
fan, but
a
hang
naysayer
on,
about Core Crenshaw. I love
that
their stuff.
That has been me, but mainly because of what Stream Song read, how it just racked me in the nuts.
Yeah.
And then
tore up your soul.
at Cabot, I wasn't thrilled with the Cliffs course, but the preserve is magical. And after the preserve, we played Pacific Dunes the following day, and then the first day of the solstice, our first course was Trails. And oh my goodness, that is an amazing golf course.
Yeah, you said you love Bandon Trails.
I would go play that every time. I mean, I love Pacific Dunes. I think it's fantastic. I've made my way around that course 3 times now.
What is your definition of a great golf course?
Oh, what a great question.
Ooh, that is a good question. You know what? I like playability. Visual is
Yeah.
nice. Like, for instance, a lot of people know I'm really critical of Wolf Creek. I mean, it gets this just world recognition of this just amazing golf course in Mesquite. But to me, the golf is really crappy. It's visually stunning. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it is golf porn at its highest. But the golf is really
Explicit.
crappy. There's porn is not an explicit word.
Just stop saying it.
But the golf is gimmicky. You know, there's a lot of blind shots. There's a lot of ridiculous carries. There's a lot of, you know, it's more for the visual than the golf, in my opinion. So I like a golf course that is playable, visual, good greens, good bunkers. The scenery at Trails, it changes. You start off in the dunes and you make your way into the hills, and the views are just incredible. And the tree-lined fairways, and you got this one hole with a pond on it that's just comes out of nowhere, and then you've got the ridiculous 200-foot descent on 14, and then the ridiculous 200-foot ascend.
I feel like you really like that course.
Oh man, it was just, and you know, I didn't play that great on it. I mean, I hit a lot of it. I dialed in my driver. Somehow I found it at Eugene and just was striping everything.
So prior to this trip, define what you think, to Clayton's question. I'm going to ask it a different way. What was your best example of a great golf course you played? Of your best definition of a great golf course prior to playing on this trip?
I thought Torrey South is a fantastic golf course.
In your mind, up to that point, that was as good as it gets.
That and Shadow, just because Shadow's so just perfect.
Okay, so Clayton, what's yours?
My favorite golf course?
Yeah, you played, like, the golf course that you played, like, what's your definition, like, of the ones you played, what's the greatest that you've played?
I mean, Stream Song was a lot of fun. I like link style. Anything linksy. British Open, you know. I got to play the blue course at Stream Song.
That's
you know, that's
Tom
just,
Doak.
and I mean, I like anything that's got huge greens that are just, you know, super fast and then undulated and rolling hills. That's kind of my golf course. You know, I thought Torrey South was a good golf course, but in my mind before I moved to the West Coast, it was actually kind of a letdown. Now I still enjoyed it, and the views of the ocean is just gorgeous. But I was a little let down. Yeah, and I mean the range. You feel like you're on a muni when you're on the range.
Oh, totally. I was that. That was the biggest disappointment for me there.
Yeah.
Not as much as Reflection Bay, but
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So yeah, timeout, sidebar. Played Reflection Bay for the first time. Greg warned me. He was like, I was like, here we go with the range. He's like, what range? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'll show you. We go over there. I'm not kidding you, man. It's a batting cage.
it is a batting cage.
It's literally
it's
a
not
batting
even.
cage.
It's a half a batting cage.
I was like, what? You have this incredible. This is the best you could do. It was disappointing.
No, the range prior, because Greg had never seen it.
Yeah, you've played out there, right? Clint?
Which one?
Reflection Bay.
Reflection Bay out of Lake Las Vegas.
Oh, I have not.
We gotta get you
No.
out there.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah, the range that was out there, like I said, Greg had never seen it. He's only been out there since they sold the range for condos.
Smart.
But it was
Property.
Yeah, that's smart.
it was 2 levels. You had a teaching level that was higher off to the right. You had a huge half circle range. It hit up.
Sounds
each
like
other
they did a
hillside.
better job selling it then. Because it paid for the maintenance of the course for the next 20 years.
Absolutely, it did.
Well, okay, so Torrey Pine stuff. So your top though would be Stream Song that you played. You think Stream Song Blue?
I like the blue, and then I would like to go play St. Andrews.
Yeah.
That's kind of the apex.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I like anything that's like impossible. Courses that have like ratings of like 76. Anything that's like so hard that everyone's gonna struggle on. That's my cup of tea as well. If I'm gonna play a non-links.
Yeah, so we play. In fact, so Mike, the I just want to blank his last name, are one of our assistant pros at Vegas Country Club. So he did his PGA training out in Hawaii at Kolau, and it's the Jurassic Park course is what they call it.
Uh-huh.
So it's considered one of the top 5 hardest courses in the world. Yeah, it's like the slope rating or the rating on it's like 76, 77. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like 7,400 yards.
Yeah,
Craziness.
I enjoyed Whisper Rock in Phoenix too. That was good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So,
So it's really tough. It's hard not to say
Oh,
Pebble.
I knew he's going. There it comes. Here
It's
it
hard
comes.
not to say Pebble. I think it is the pinnacle for me that I've played. Spyglass doesn't even make my top 10.
I hope you didn't play a Pinnacle when you played Pebble.
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, thankfully I didn't. What was I
Pinnacle
playing?
long drive.
No, I was playing. What was I playing? I was playing
Let me dub over it.
Wilson. No, actually I wasn't. But I played Wilson now. If I was playing Wilson, I wouldn't have shot at 81. I would have shot a 79 because I wouldn't have 7-on-7.
You're making them bluff.
I love it.
I know, but so I think so. Pebble to me, I think that's a lot of people's best, right? But second to that, wow. I think Eugene Country Club's really up there for me.
Dude, that place
It's a top
blew
it's a
me
top
away.
3 probably for me.
Born and raised in Nevada and living my whole life in Las Vegas, trees aren't something
Mhm.
that we get to experience. We have them, but they're more of an annoyance than.
They dictate the golf course there.
Oh my goodness!
It's unreal.
I stopped in the middle, the big hard dogleg right par 5 that goes down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
My tee shot faded into the right rough, and I was walking up to it and I said, "Oh my god!" And I got my daughter on FaceTime. I go, "Emmy, you got to look at this tree." And I just slowly panned up.
Yeah.
I mean, here is this 200-foot Christmas tree.
It's a different kind of golf. It's very complete. It's a very complete golf experience, and I think that so I think it depends on what you like, right? So for me, I think Pebble's so special because I like coastal golf. I grew up in the trees, so even though I think they're really special and I can enjoy them and I do enjoy them, getting to experience probably Pebble Beach, Pacific Dunes, anything that's up along the coastlines.
Yeah, I played a track in
it's pretty
Alabama
special.
called Silver Lake. That it is cut out of the forest. The fairways.
Yep.
Have you played it?
I have not, but
Yeah.
it's a popular course.
Oh man, and I got to play it before the last tornado hit it and wiped out 90% of the trees. But oh my goodness, it's cookie cutter holes out of the middle of a deep forest, and when you're on one hole, you don't see any other holes on the golf course. You're just on that hole, and that's it, because it's so thick all around it. And then the next tee box, you can't see the hole behind you. You just see the hole in front of you.
Right.
And I thought it was incredible, because you're standing there and you hit your tee shot. It's whack, 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 whack.
So here's a question. So let's go back to your point. So you said it's probably the best Bandon trails.
And I don't know if I'd call it the best. I mean, Shadow for me is still way up there, as just because it's just so pure, and the experience is just unbelievable. Pacific Dunes is always going to be.
What'd you think about Old Mac?
I hated it.
Why?
Absolutely.
Because it's so windy.
Oh my god.
That's why. Because it's really hard.
Well, we just got off. The Solstice Event is unique because you're walking all the courses, and when you walk off 18, it's not go to the bar, hang out, chill, grab a beer, grab a bite. Okay, well,
put calamine lotion.
No, it's walk over to the shuttle, change during the shuttle, and then you're walking to the starter. And so, I mean, you don't even have time to digest what just happened. You know, I'm sitting there going, man, that was an amazing golf. What, we're here? Okay, let's go. And stepping up on that first tee and the wind, I mean, it's a great layout. It really is a good layout. I think it's a very unique layout, and I think if I were to play it again, I'd have a better idea of how to play it. But as the first time with a 35-mile-an-hour wind.
Have you ever played real links courses before?
Well, I played Cabot Links, which.
But was it linksy?
Oh yeah, it's a links. Okay. Oh, absolutely, it's a links course.
Yeah, I mean, it's drive fast.
Oh yeah. And it was that wind just. I mean, it beat you up, you up. And then, you know, I had the par 3, the second hole, the par 3, and it was playing like 150. And I mean, I hit my 7-wood and barely got to the green. It was intense. And then going from the morning round where it's moist, you got the ocean air and the ground is moist and the greens are soft and they're receptive. And by the time, you know, the 3 hours went by and we get to the first green, they've already dried out. And
they're fast and fiery.
Old Mac is way faster than even Bandon and Pacific.
Yeah.
And so you go from, okay, you got to hit this firm and be strong to just touch this.
Yeah.
And so it was a challenge. I mean, it's a neat layout. It's unique. There's zero protection. I mean,
so I think this is yeah, it's kind of funny when it comes to golf destinations, right? I think Stream Song is really special on the East Coast. I've never played Pinehurst, but one of the things I think is unique about Pinehurst, much like Bandon Dunes, is there are so many different courses for different people's tastes, right?
Yeah.
Like I bet, like Clayton, if you went up there, you'd love Old Mac. Because it's
what, Pinehurst?
No, you love Old McDonald up at Bandon. It's links at its best, right? It's American links at its best.
Yeah.
And I think that you'd really enjoy it. Pinehurst, you got, was it number 4 is like that? I think 4 is
I went and played Pinehurst last year. I'm gonna go again this year.
Yeah, it's got the different vibe. There's a couple of the courses. Is it which one has the trees?
2
has trees.
There's a
Oh, we lost him again.
Swing and a miss again, Clayton. My God. Everybody, please.
Hear me?
Yep, there we go. All right.
Okay. We'll stop saying those things we were saying.
Please don't let Clayton's inability to keep a phone signal stop you from rating this podcast 5 stars.
Do we even have ratings yet?
We have a couple, yes.
Okay, well, enough about us. So you were saying Pinehurst.
Yeah, they all have trees.
Okay. So what was your favorite? Did you play? Which ones did you play?
I played 5 was a lot of fun. The tournament course. I mean, that's your best bet. You know, number 2 is always good. Now, number 2 is not the best character. But,
did you play
5,
it before the renovation or after?
So, last year would be after, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that the first time you played it?
Yeah. So 5,
Okay.
5, 8, and 2 are going to be your best bets, in my opinion. Some people like 4 a lot. But I haven't played that one yet. So.
Well, so Pinehurst to me, I think you do get a lot. It's a really cool destination because you have a lot of courses, and they have the same thing that Bandon has, which is a place to go play after your round, right? Like the preserve, the
Shorties.
the shorties. You
Punch
get
bowl.
punch bowl. You get they have all that kind of stuff out there at Pinehurst as well. Stream Song, I think, was developing it, right? They have the
Yep.
little one there, and the other
They
piece. I
got the
think when you
gauntlet
look at
and-
destinations, there's a lot of that that's important. But what's unique about Bandon to me is Bandon Trails, Pacific Dunes, I mean, Old Mac.
They're vastly different.
They're so different.
I mean, Bandon Dunes and Pacific Dunes basically are on the same property, and I was expecting Bandon Dunes to be similar, and it's not.
Right.
And that was a surprise. And I enjoyed Bandon Dunes. I liked it a lot more than Old Mac. It was, I don't know. It was, I kind of got my second win after Old Mac. I was like, okay, let's put that behind. Let's get on to the next one. I'm excited to play the first course on the property and finishing up at Pacific. So I knew what was headed coming my way.
Right.
You know, so
Well, it's funny. So when we talk about these best courses, and like I said, Pebble Beach is up there, right? You know, it's funny because
Clayton, have you dealt with him
Ryan,
with Pebble Beach?
Ryan, what's your favorite course again? I haven't heard it yet in this podcast.
you know, I think it's Pebble Beach, and the reason I bring it up is because my irons won there, like recently. I feel
That's
like.
true.
Oh, you know
See,
what?
Matt, it's 2 on 1 fast break right now, but
Hey, I'm waiting. I check my front door for the delivery
They'll be
guy
there.
every day.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm-
you know the sad part
it's,
is. Oh, go
it's
ahead.
handicap based.
Exactly.
Sorry.
It's handicap based. Oh gosh. So the Wilson
Shots
Staff model
fired.
irons.
Shots fired.
The Wilson Staff model irons. I feel like. I mean, I'm just saying it was nice to see my set on television just crushing it. I mean, I didn't even know that that you could hit stingers like that with those clubs, but you know,
Sting us.
he doesn't even hit stingers. I mean, those are. It's like someone shot out of a cannon.
It needs
about
to be
a foot off the
redefined
ground.
because everybody says Gary Woodland hitting the Tiger Stingers, and
Yeah, it's Gary Woodland stinger.
it's a Gary Woodland stinger.
because his is so different. I'll never forget the one he hit at Wiley.
Oh man,
I-
it's such a beautiful thing. I love when Scratch TV does their little Woodland Stingers on Instagram. It's just
The one he hit at Wiley to me was and it was such a good view. You know what I'm talking about?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it was such a good viewpoint for it, where you could see how high it was, and I mean he puts it to 10 feet, and you go, you didn't like he put it to as far away from the pin as high as he hit it off the ground. I mean it was unreal.
So Clayton,
Yeah.
I know the staff irons are getting a little bit of press recently.
Maybe because they are the most recent major championship.
They are the
winners.
most recent champ, but I know Wilson's been. I mean, we saw them at the PGA show.
Mhm.
They were on such lockdown, we weren't even allowed to hit them.
Yep.
So, what has been the feedback with your clients? How has the reception been from the stores that are looking to throw them in?
Okay, yeah. So staff model blades, guys. I mean, it's been overwhelming. I mean, it's a complete fire starter. You know, best blade on the market. You can look at reviews online. There's not going to be one negative comment unless it's just someone trying to collect press. You know, I mean, we tried to make this blade iconic. You've heard Tim Clark in a lot of Gary interviews, and we had our pros get involved with it from Brendan Steele. You know, helping idea-wise how to build it for the pros when he's been a long time, you know, staffer with us. And we've had a great R&D thing, you know, for years. I mean, a lot of our guys, I mean, we'll talk later about golf balls. A lot of our guys have been with us for 20, 30 years plus. You know, we've been making the stuff for over 100 years. So it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just making ourselves better every year. Which is what we try to do. Staff model blades, I'll give you guys a quick rundown, and then we can open it up a little more. 8620 carbon steel. Carbon, as we know, is nice, soft sounding, good feel, good forging there, so it holds its specs. The face is milled with score lines. There's triple knurling on the heel. We want to remember who we are. I mean, we've been around longer than most of these companies. So the triple knurling on the hosel is a good look, along with the diamond plating milling on the sides to frame up the ball on the face. We offer stamping on them custom right out the gate, and then D2 swing weight is how it's going to come stock with the S300s, even though we offer all custom ability from all shafts, from Modus to C-tapers. So, I mean, there's been a huge uptick.
Here's the real question, though. How is it that they're able to make it – how is it that they're able to make my 7-iron go 181 carry? That's what I want to know. Because it's ridiculous. And it's 34 degrees, so it's the same as my old one.
Yeah, your 7-iron is your 34 degrees. Your pitching wedge is 46. We offer another performance benefit in there. It's not a bore through. A lot of people think, oh, Wilson's app's got a bore through. What it is, it's called a fluid feel hosel. We drill out a little portion in the heel, and then we actually fill that with a urethane plug. So not only are you getting the soft forge, you're getting vibration dampening and sound absorptioning through that fluid feel hosel that no one else does, without it being a bore through and keeping it a traditional build. But distance-wise, it's pretty much moving, the CG, and alleviating a lot of weight in the proper spaces, keeping it towed out, and keeping it open, keeping it compact, So, I mean, it's just an all-around good club. How it goes so hot and so far, we just use good metal, good product, top-of-the-line stuff.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I think is interesting is the transition, too. So I like we were talking about this when I first got them. I've never had a pitching wedge that I felt really comfortable chipping with, which is kind of a strange thing. But most set pitching wedges, to me, have a little bit higher. What am I looking for? It's the little piece that we always talk about. It's like an elbow down on the bottom.
Oh, kind of the neck.
Yeah, it's like the neck kind of extends out a little bit taller on the pitching wedges.
Yeah. So
I usually don't play a set pitching wedge. I almost always have played either the Mike Taylor VR Forge, the old Nike VR Forge 48, Benta 47, my Vokies. I always play something like that. This is one of the first pitching wedges it's ever stayed in my bag because it's easy to chip with. And it's the shape, it's the feel, because it's 8620, which is, most people don't know this. So 8620 monocarbon steel is, yes, it's really soft. Everybody that loves Vokies, that's the same metal, just so we're clear. It's also got a little bit probably in the nickel in there to make it even softer with that plating. I thought I would hate the plating, and I love it. I just want to clean it all the time. Which I'm a huge anti-chrome guy.
It is by far one of the best looking
I'll never take it
I've
out
ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working with a couple mini tour pros. I got one friend that's going to the Japan tour here soon. I got a buddy who's going to go play up in the McKenzie tour in Canada, and they got the irons in the bag. And one thing they keep talking about is the turf action. If you look at the sole of our club, it's got a little more rounded look to it. Even though it's a blade, usually you're looking at seeing a blade, it's a flat bottom and it digs. These have a little more rounded bottom, so it's actually way more playable, and it's going to come out of the turf because most guys swinging blades are going down after it. So they're able to go after it, but it's able to pierce through like butter. Yeah, my divot changed with these clubs, no doubt. I didn't really have much of a divot before. You saw.
I want to hit them with shafts that I can hit because I've only swung yours.
And the S300.
It's just, I mean, it feels fantastic, but I'd really like to have a chance to.
Let's go demo.
Fitting kits in store in September.
Boom.
So
here's the real question: do I need to go get a backup set because they're selling out?
I don't have the exact numbers of how many are left, but we are on critical. So we do have critical remaining amounts currently, but there are more that are going to be in-house in September.
Yeah, I might need to get a backup set.
Are they planning on re-releasing the same one? Or are they going to change it up? Or
no, it will not be. It will not be changed at all. It is a pure bona fide winner of the U.S. Open with Gary Woodland. It'll stay as is.
Love that
plug.
Oh wait, it should be.
Is it on? Are they? What's Wilson's cycle? Is it a 2-year cycle? Is it a 4-year cycle?
We are a 2-year iron cycle, a 3-year ball cycle.
Okay.
And this was the first year for these, so expect to see these on the shelves through 2020.
Yeah, through 2021 most likely.
Yeah, I don't even know how you change
the
them.
blade. the blades could stay longer. The last anniversary set blades stayed 4 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 100 stayed for for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Yeah, almost 5. So blades are kind of they usually stay a little longer for us, but typically our normal product lines are 2 years. Everything else, but blades typically are 2 to 4.
Well, let me throw a little transparency out there for the people that actually are listening to this as well. So I do buy this stuff, and I just actually bought us of the wedges as well. I scored a deal.
Pictures coming tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously. So I got them today, Clay, and they are so good.
We were having a little chip contest.
Oh, they're
earlier.
so good, and I'm just happy I got lucky and I had the right shafts in them, so they're going to blend perfect into that set. But
Beautiful.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever had. It's going to sound weird. Everybody that I talk to that looks at blades and they go, I can't hit blades, can't do it. So I try to have people try these, especially people that are playing, a little bit larger caddy backs. Greg tried them the other day. Totally don't fit him for spec, and you know what?
He
pured them, just pured them.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What is the deal with these?" I was like, "I don't know. Imagine if you actually got fit for it." I mean, but seriously, they're incredibly forgiving. I think that I don't have any gripes per se, but the one thing I would,
I got a gripe.
well, I know you always have a gripe, but I have, the one thing I would say is I do feel like they run shorter. For me, it's a good thing. They run shorter in standard lengths. I think they're old standard length clubs, not new standard length clubs, because new standard length clubs typically are a little bit longer. Old standard length are a little bit shorter. And my pitching wedge is, it fits with the new Wilson ones, but it's about the same as my 50.
When the length of clubs you design wins 62 majors, you kind of don't change the stock length.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they've changed them. That's what I'm saying. I think they're old. I think they're old lengths. And for me, it's great because I prefer to play. So I typically like to play quarter and short. So it's not, for me, it's a win. But I do think that it's interesting. I was comparing it to like Greg's pitching wedge. His are an inch over. It was almost like an inch and a quarter, inch and a half over compared to his.
He's a tall guy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a distance boom, guys. I mean, golf's different now than 10 years ago. I mean, 5-10 years ago, clubs have already gained a half inch to a full inch on drivers and irons.
And I mean, my pitching wedge still goes 148, so it doesn't really matter.
You go measure, all the stock sets on the wall.
I wish you guys
then
could
they're
see
all
the
gonna.
eye roll.
Hey, here's a better question. So just so we're clear, Clayton has these now as well. It took him forever. Wilson's staff rep takes forever to get his own set. It was hilarious to go through that process.
I got an exotic set with different shafts and so on.
So let's mini what's in the bag. So let's just talk about your irons in the bag because I know they're staying. So what irons are in the bag?
The stack model blades are the irons in the bag, and I have the C Taper limited edition black shafts that Gary's using. Gary uses 130X's.
Wait, hang on. Who's Gary? Who are you talking about?
Gary Woodland uses 130.
The U.S. Open champion, Gary Woodland.
Yeah, no, the Wilson advisory staff who won the U.S. Open championship.
Okay.
The other week.
Just want to make sure nobody was confused about.
Hey, good looking out, man.
There's a lot of Garys out there.
I love it.
So you got the C tapers, and what flex did you go with?
I went with 125 S pluses, just because I just wanted a little lighter feel. I've been using Project X 125s forever, 6.5s, so I wanted to stick with the same weight and feel on those irons. And
What's your
standard lengths, standardized?
What's your three? So give me your two distances: 3-iron distance and pitching wedge carry distance.
3-iron distance, I'm hitting probably 240 fly. Pitching wedge distance, I like the P 155 is what I like to pull it. 150, 155, depending how I feel and what the wind condition's doing.
Just want to take a minute for the average golfer to soak that in, because I feel like I'm a decent golfer, and you
crush the ball.
But playing with this guy, I'll never forget it. Cal Open qualifier. We go to a par 4, and I think it was 278 to fly to the pin, short par 4. Okay, but you literally can't go short because there's bunkers guarding up front, and there's OB past or penalty area past, right? So it's like a cliff. Yeah. So you literally have to hit at the distance, or most guys are in between cliffs, and there's not really any place to lay up, right? So he's getting ready to hit. What were you gonna hit? 3-wood? You were gonna hit like a choppy 3-wood or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you just striped your 4-iron 235 on the fly. On the last hole, yeah, it was a little downhill, but not like a little, not a lot. I was like, I think you should pull 3-iron here.
I had to really jump on it though.
He looked at me. He was like, all right, caddy. If this doesn't work, it's on you.
I was listening to my caddy.
He flew it, and he had backspin. It landed ridiculous. So you landed pin high right, shorter part of the green. You flew that, what, 260?
Yeah, it was about 255.
255, and it stopped on a dime, like within a foot.
I got lucky.
You got lucky. The guy next to him hits a hybrid, pull hooks it in the left after he hits that shot. No intimidation there, right?
So if anybody wants to talk realistic golf, the breakfast ball on Instagram, hit me up. We can chat about my 120-yard pitching wedge that I love.
But so let's talk about the other thing. So a couple other things we want to talk with Clayton about while we've got him.
Oh wait, real quick.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about irons. The black C300 forged.
Yeah.
Gunmetal.
Yeah, the gunmetal. How's that going for you guys?
It's going good. You know, we made just a few amount of sets. They are making their way out. So if you want that gunmetal finish to the already groundbreaking technology of power holes in the forged C300, go ahead and let's grab it. Special order it at your local stores.
Yeah, and I will say the C300 forged for a game improvement club. So I mean, Matt, you play Hanma, their game improvement club, and
Yes.
they attack distance with loft.
Yes,
In my opinion, not with as much. It's a milled cavity back, right? So it's got a little pop to it, but it's not really technology. It's really about the loft.
Yeah, it's about the loft. It's about the feel, and it's a cast iron. I play the 737Ps. It's cast iron that has a forged feel. That's Hanma's.
Their power.
Yeah, it's a great feeling iron, and I'm really happy with it. I'd be happier with a set of C300 forged.
But that's what I want to make. So like they attack it with loft, right? So what's your 7-iron? Isn't it like 32, 33, even might even be less than that?
No, 32 is
32
what's that?
years. So I think what is the loft on the 7-iron for the C300? Is it 33 or 34? Is it the same?
33.
33. So it's 1 degree stronger, okay? But the power hole technology, which is, it's since Clayton's here, I'll say it's innovative, right? But it's not
Cutting
new,
edge technology,
right? It's not new in the sense that we're going to find a way to make the face flex a little bit more and be a little hotter, right? What I think is really interesting about that is they did that with a forged face without completely trashing the lofts across the board, and they milled it in a way that you can still get a lot of grab. I mean, the milling on those things is almost, I think it's the same or close to the same as on the staff model, and the grip on those things is crazy for a club. But we've hit them at like Bob Allen Golf.
Yeah,
I mean, I just think it's surprising.
For those who are wondering, we invented the speed slot technology in the 70s. The same thing that's used on TaylorMade irons now. We had that for plenty of years, and then what we created with the C200s before we went into the second edition of C300s was power hole technology, where we drill out holes all across the face, on the toe, on the heel, on the bottom, and then we did multiple rows to give further depth for faster ball speed off the face of the C300.
So I just want to be clear. So Wilson Golf invented the sand wedge with Sam Snead. They don't deviate much from greatness.
no.
So hashtag Clayton Comments. I got that in a text.
That's a
That was
live
the best text I've ever got.
That's a live Clayton Comments.
Oh, so I think the C300 is really cool. I am excited about where they're going with technology. I think they have a great looking array of clubs.
Game improvement forged is the future for the player. It seems to be, especially here on the West Coast. And then on the East Coast, I believe it's going to pick up as well. So I think we're going to see more of that.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. So switching gears a little bit, talk to me about the golf balls. And there's one that I want to talk about because I'm a nerd about it, and that's the FG Tour is completely become my ball. And
That's saying a lot considering Ryan has 400 golf balls in his garage. from
Literally, I
different
have a
manufacturers.
lot of. So I'm a bit of a golf nerd, but more. I'm a real shaftoid, and I'm a real golf ball nerd. And I'm huge into the compression and
Order.
a bit of a hoarder. I have a lot of Nike Resin 1 Platinum sitting in the garage right now. But
So
talk to me about it.
yeah, so I being in the business that I'm in, I can't just talk about one. I'm gonna talk about all three real quick on a rundown. Duo Soft is the franchise golf ball. Duo Soft, Duo Optics. That is our franchise flagship ball.
It's Matt's golf ball.
That is
That's what I played. I played one golf ball
Winter Park. Winter Park.
Winter Park is the first time I used it, and I was blown away.
You got zip like I've never seen.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I'll just real quick then let you get right back into it.
Please do. Yeah, please do.
I didn't think I was just I don't know. I don't want to say stupid, but just uninformed on the golf ball. And when we chatted with Frank at the PGA show,
that guy is awesome.
He kind of really opened my eyes to some things, and we played Orange County that day, and I was playing the Duo Professional,
Yep.
and so I said I'm going to throw it in the bag, and I hit the ball better than I ever had off the tee. It was just straight, and I'm not a distance player off the tee, so I wasn't looking to gain plus 17 yards from a golf ball. I was just looking to get it in the fairway. But since then, I've been gaming it. After surgery, that's the only ball I've been playing. And when I went up to Bandon, that's the only ball I played. And all 18 holes on Old Mac and all 18 holes except the last hole at Bandon Dunes was with one ball. I played 36 holes with one golf ball, and it's the Duo Soft. It is a remarkable golf ball, and it fits you. $17.50 a dozen.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's I get why it's a franchise ball.
Yeah, and it's a little background on the tech, and Matt, I appreciate that resounding soundboard. It is 2-piece, 29 compression. A lot of people get scared about that low compression number. When you have durable products and you've been doing it a long time, and you have the same guy Frank, who is a wizard with rubbers and plastics making it, he finds a way to make it work. It is a high launching, low spinning golf ball. It's the way everyone's trying to make drivers, except we do it in the ball. You want to gain yardage fast, you get ball fitted. So that's definitely a franchise ball. We make it in all the nice matte colors, 6 different matte colors as well. Same tech, same ionomer cover. That color just wound into the materials of the ionomer cover on that. So that's a great golf ball. To go into the Duo Professional that you dropped a minute ago, Matt, we wanted to maximize that Duo franchise. We wanted to create that golf ball that offered the urethane cover that a lot of people are addicted to and hear the name of and go ooh and ah. That also gives you spin and softer feel because it is a softer cover and it is more expensive to make. So we decided to make a 3-piece 60 compression golf ball called the Duo Professional. And then also it is a high launching, low spinning golf ball with that. So, but with that being said, the urethane cover, when you're just chipping it around the greens, it does give you that grab around the greens you want and that spin you need. Low spin off the tee, more spin on the low irons. Trying to breach that gap that people are looking for all the distance off the tee and all the spin they want on their wedges. On that one, that golf ball is the one that's really picking up steam on top of it. So it's just a perfect franchise accessory to the Duo franchise.
Before you get into the new next one, who would you say
I was just going to talk about this.
The Duo Professional is geared
To me,
for?
it's the Callaway Chrome Soft player.
And not necessarily the person playing a different ball, the type of player, the player.
That's tough though, because it's about ball fitting, right? Because
so the beautiful thing about these golf balls is that they're made. Whenever you're making a lower spin off the tee golf ball with more spin around the irons, it's going to straighten your ball flight. It's going to straighten in a lot more. So if you're a really low swing speed guy to a moderate swing speed, and you really, really need accuracy, you need to play Duo Soft all day long. Now, if you're a more moderate guy who needs a little bit of accuracy and really needs a lot of accuracy around the greens, you're going to want to be more the Duo Pro guy. And then when you get in the tour ball, you get into the tour ball that we're going to talk about.
Well,
on
but
that one.
but
So,
I do think like so ball fitting. To your point earlier, it's probably the fastest way to get better if you're a decent golfer. Most guys
Correct.
don't ever take the time. I mean, Bridgestone has been screaming this for years.
For years they've been trying.
Right? And you know, I mean, I know we have Wilson on, but they've been screaming it for years for a reason, right? The one gripe I have with Bridgestone, and I'm coming from being so I'm a Tour B XS player previously until the FG Tour and really the Duo Pro first was my entry kind of gateway. I went back to the Tour B, and then you know when I got a set of the FG Tours, totally different, you know. But the point is when you get fit. So for you, for example, so the way you play, and when you hit on a simulator, I'm going to tell you, no one would ever fit you for a Duo Soft. They'd fit you for a Duo Pro. You know, because you have good swing, you put good speed on the ball, good swing, you know, good speed in your swing. You're not going to get fit for that. If they're fitting you on a launch monitor, you know, just based on your launch monitor stats alone, that's what you're going to do. And you know, when Wilson does some of these things, a lot of these other guys I think are starting to do it. You get the 3-ball packs or whatever.
Mhm.
When they do a fitting, they say, take this and go try it, which is what Frank did.
Yep.
Frank said, hey, take the 3-ball pack of Duo Soft and go give it a try. And you did at Winter Park. The reason, in my opinion, you're a Duo Soft player is because the compression is lower and you don't have a lot of that
Compression in
in your swing.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not mashing, you're not steep enough to really compress the ball at impact. So the lower compression for you probably does wonders because you aren't doing it on your own, right? But you'd never get fit for that.
Never.
You know, I mean, you were playing the Duo Pro, convinced it was the ball you had to play, you know, up until you tried the Duo Soft, you know. Anyway, I digress.
All right. So
Tiny right over.
let's talk about the last one, the new one.
yes. So the last one is a ball we just released. It can be found with a few premium partners online, and then some shops locally. It's called the FG Tour. FG Tour has been around for many years. It is a tougher to find golf ball. It is a 4-piece golf ball, a much firmer golf ball. It is a tour level urethane. You know, it's a market we have that a lot of our European guys play. And Gary's doing Gary Woodland, US Open winner 2019, Matt.
Thank you. I was wondering what you're talking about.
He is doing some prototype testing with us. He used to be a Bridgestone guy. That contract is expired, and so we're doing some prototype testing and working with Mr. Woodland on figuring the right ball for him. So we're hoping the FG Tour and its predecessors and
There's
will be
nothing
the
new
one.
coming down the road, is there?
I cannot neither confirm nor deny anything new or old.
Well, I'll tell you what. So, you know, just like Matt was a little bit of a soundboard, and to echo the greatness of Duo Soft, FG Tour is my new ball. I love it. It does exactly what I needed to do. The compression's right. I think that when you get into the hundreds in compression, you got to really be putting a lot of speed into that ball, and you got to really be compressing it with your
That's why
with
I
your
don't play
swing.
the high dollar
Right,
balls.
but there's a lot of guys that play them because they go, well, you know, it's harder, so it'll take spin off, and those are the guys that need to go get ball fit, right? But the FG Tour to me is in my opinion the best high-end performance golf ball I think they've ever made. And I don't know what it is about that and the Duo Pro because I've tested them side by side. It feels different. Like the cover itself actually feels different than the Duo Pro. I don't know what it is. It feels softer.
I hit
Like-
the Duo Pro long. I hit the Duo Pro longer. I just spin the FG Tour a touch more with my wedges.
Yeah. And and actually for me, I actually hit the FG Tour further than I hit the Duo Pro. And I don't know if it's because of the way I cut, because I hit a big cut when I hit my driver. And I don't know if it's because of the compression I get more spin than I should, but the FG Tour is consistently a little bit longer. It's a little bit more controlled too, for me off the tee.
Yeah.
With the irons, both of them for me were excellent with irons and with wedges. I didn't notice that much difference there, but for me it was off the tee. It straightened it out a touch. So
Beautiful.
love it. Yeah, great. So part of the reason I wanted to talk about that was most people don't think of Wilson. I think they're starting to more and more. My circles obviously are because I'm hitting it by them. And when you do that 3 or 4 times, they go, "Hey, what ball are you hitting?" And I think it surprises people that the golf balls that Wilson's coming to market with are this good. I think that there are a lot of manufacturers that are good.
There's a ton of great golf balls. We're not here to bash anybody.
No, yeah, but I do
trash.
think that I think, but it's kind of like the PXG thing. I think people need to go try it. I think people need to go get fit for golf balls. I think that they need to go try a variety of them, and when they find one that works, stick with it.
Yep. And we're actually going to be getting some logoed golf balls that Ryan and I discussed this. We've had a couple people come up to us that, hey, you guys are with the breakfast ball, and we want to be able to give those people something, just to show appreciation.
Yeah, it's actually usually the thing that we talk about too.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get with Clayton and get some logoed balls. So you come up to us and see us, we're gonna have some parting gifts for you, and get everybody at least to tee it up and check it out, see what they think.
Yep, I definitely think that it's hilarious that people will spend $50 a dozen on Pro V1s to go hit them into the water and into the desert, and they never got fit for it, but they just think that it's the best ball, so they should hit it. And I'm like, not only is this a bad business decision, but
it's making your time on the course less enjoyable as well.
Anyway, so okay, so we've talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, what else?
We covered a lot of ground, man.
I think we need to have Clayton back. Okay. And when he comes back, I want to ask him, Clayton, I want to ask you if you will talk about the difference between the best players, and I'm going to lump you into that group. So those that are scratch and better, and how steep and how much they compress the golf ball versus the average player. Will you come back and talk about that?
Sure, we can talk about swings all day.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy getting to chat with you about on text, and then also on the phone is, after the round, I'm making this change, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you get a lot of experience with it, but also you're never afraid to try stuff to try and figure out how to make yourself better, which is what it's about. That's the game.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. I mean, we're all trying to get better. The perks, I got to spend a few years getting a degree in golf management. I got to be a teacher for a few years prior to getting in the sales world of it and managing side of it. So, I mean, it's always fun. It's definitely my passion, discussing swings and different ways to approach this game, because there's no one way. So discussing philosophy as I do.
Okay, so let's have him back for that. Now, I got one more question I want to ask before you bounce. And I don't know if you're bouncing it, or at least before we talk about the next topic.
He can stick around.
He can stick around. We'll talk about the next time. But I have one more question that I really want to answer. Parting gift for the golfers out there. Okay, what's the outside of ball fitting, which we've addressed? What's one tip that you can give the golf community, the very limited golf community that listens to this podcast?
Growing every day,
and they'll grow now because Clayton's on. What's the one tip that you give them? Hey, so if you want to shoot lower scores, if you want to enjoy your time more on the golf course, here's the top thing that I think you need to work on to do that.
That's
well, outside of it's pretty simple. Outside of trying to get properly fit for clubs, it's really make time for the range. Whether you make time to go eat Chinese food and Netflix, or whether you make time to go to the gym, let go into the range be part of your de-stressor. Go to the driving range, pull out a key, get 150 balls, do it 3 times a week. That's the quickest way you're going to get better. You can go get local lessons from your pro if you want. I think if you just spend 3 days a week de-stressing, hitting balls for 30 to 45 minutes, you'll simply become naturally better at the game and more enjoyable just hitting balls. Not so much a Top Golf atmosphere. Don't go to Top Golf and go bang balls, or drive shack. Go to an actual range, get some feedback, just hit balls, make swings, and develop a relationship with the contact and feel with your golf clubs. I only got good at golf because I took that session to an extreme, and I would hit 300 to 500, several times a week. in a session, and it's just something to where you can just go, finish out your day, and get it done. You're happier, you're healthy, and you got a better golf game to take all your buddies' friends and make them buy you drinks at the end.
And it's so much fun. If you ever want to do that, just take Greg out, Mr. My Fast Cars.
Oh no, don't do that.
I'm
That's-
not. Is it too soon?
Greg,
4 times in a row.
I'm on Team Greg. So
I know you're on Team Greg. That's okay. Haters gonna hate.
man, it's one thing to beat a guy, but kick him when he's down. I mean, God bless you.
Well, he wasn't getting up and down. I mean,
Wow. Okay,
I was kicking him when he was up.
we just lost a subscriber, a follower, a fan.
The band,
God.
Friend. Oh,
Hate
all right.
mail is
So
coming.
you better switch gears. You know how we can make this better? We can give something away.
Yes, we are going to do a giveaway, and
Greg, we got a 2-ball pack.
Yeah, I'll send him a duo soft set.
some 29 compression duo soft.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man.
Anyways, giveaway.
How if he when he plays this, if I would not be surprised if he just deletes your number.
He won't delete my number.
No, Greg's
He's gonna come back next week and want more.
Yeah.
Speak of a duo professional believer now.
If he was look, I mean, this guy, I gave him the Duo Pro in the course. He was struggling.
He didn't need it.
Well,
he had a box of them.
Well, it's. I won't talk about that.
Okay.
But he wasn't playing them for good reasons. And then when we were out there, he was struggling. I was like, this will change your gears, right? So I gave him a little 3-pack, and I was like, just tee it up with this one. He piped it. I mean, probably one of the best drives I've seen him hit. He easily clear. He probably hit it about 310, 305, 310, somewhere there. I told him, I was like,
It's the ball. It's the
dude,
ball.
I'm not going to hit it past that.
Oh, jeez.
I hit
See how
past
it
him.
turns? See how it turns?
You know?
It went
But I
from
only
a
hit
great
it past
story
it
about
because I had an
Greg
FG tour. See, that's
Goodness.
the problem was we couldn't tell which was which at first. Anyway, no, but yeah, seriously, giveaway.
Yeah, I got a little special giveaway that I'm going to do.
Ooh.
We've been growing on the breakfast ball.
Can I enter?
No. Members of the breakfast ball, previous and current, are no longer eligible for this giveaway.
Can Clayton enter?
What about guest visitors?
You know what? If you enter and you win, I would
Good
be
for you.
honored to hand it to you.
That's right.
So I've been friends and been working with Ricky Johnson putters since 2015. A little side gig I do to help him just grows exposure, and I've been gaming a Ricky Johnson putter since the first one I had that I reviewed for 3 Guys Golf back in the early 2015. Recently I've been playing my Logan putter, just wanted to change it up a little bit. I've had my Ricky in the bag for a while, but I have a tour 506 tour putter that we're going to be doing a giveaway on. It's
a flow neck. It's sweet.
Ricky is one of the coolest people I've ever met. I'm honored to call him a friend. He does some incredible. He's been machining metal for almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, the wide bodies are sweet, but the one you're giving away, that's why I asked about entering.
It's the 506 Tour. It's a
favorite.
tour blade. We call it the tour model because it's a putter that you have to know what you're doing with. It's not just something.
It's got some toe hang.
Yeah, it's got a lot of toe hang.
Loft on it. 2 degrees, I think.
So we're gonna do a giveaway for that. We have one of his ball markers that we're gonna give away too, and one of the towels, and there may be something else. I don't know. I'm gonna see, but this is gonna be a pretty good giveaway. We're talking, almost $800 worth of gear for just being a fan. So I'm gonna put some details up on the Breakfast Ball Instagram account. I'm gonna put it on the Chasing Daylight Instagram account. Anybody listening to this, you're gonna have a little bit of heads up about what's happening. We're gonna put it on this website and it'll be on the Chasing Daylight Instagram account.
Well, I'm gonna leave a little Easter egg here too because I got something burning a hole in my pocket at the house, and this will be something fun. I have an extra U.S. Open Puma hat.
Ooh.
And I think that the first person to DM me Wilson Golf Balls Rule on Instagram at Ryan.golfs.
Ryan.golfs.
The first person, and Clayton, you're not allowed to participate.
Yeah. Present company not included.
And you can't wear the Puma hat, so sorry, bud. So Puma US Open limited edition hat. First person to DM me Wilson Golf Balls Rule. Ryan at Ryan.golfs. They get the hat. Simple as that.
Nice.
What do you think?
That's a nice
and a sleeve of Wilson golf balls.
So I'll include a sleeve of Duo Pro. So I got one sitting. Oh,
nice.
boom.
And I'll throw in a sleeve of Duo Softs too.
Yeah, that way you can get ball fit.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up any FG tours. They can.
Dang, Santa
Suck
Claus.
Yeah.
Those things are like.
We'll
I
have to
literally
reach
went. I
out
went to
to
4 different stores in Hawaii last week trying to find the FG tour balls. No one had them. I was bummed out.
Are they going to continue to just be in limited supply at select locations?
Yeah,
or
it's
is
just
it-
certain locations.
Or the best? Tell us the best way to get a box of those.
You can get them online.
Is it online?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, when I couldn't find them locally, I went online. But so I know you can get them online, and I don't know. Do you even know what retailers there are? Is Roger Dunn carrying them or no?
Roger Dunn currently at this time is not carrying them.
Yeah.
But it could be seen in the foreseeable future.
I'm going to make a request at the new Roger Dunn location in Las Vegas, formerly Las Vegas Golf and Tennis, which is now Las Vegas Roger Dunn Golf Shops.
Dun, 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 dun.
They're open actually, so I'm going to go out there tomorrow. I think so.
Has the whole transformation taken place there for you guys in that stop?
Yeah.
It is a work in progress. They are just about completed with the remodel, and they'll be setting dates for a new re-grand opening here soon,
It's gonna be
this
sweet.
summer.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm excited to have them in town, honestly.
Are you going to be here for that?
I will be there
feel
once
like we
I
should go
have the
golfing.
exact dates and the
Nice.
announcement happens. I'll let you guys know.
Okay, so I haven't talked to Ryan about this,
Oh boy.
but I'm going to open it up to you too, because with the Solstice event that just take place, we have early notification of when sign up is because we participated in it.
Okay.
And there are 4 spots. Andrew has one, I have one.
Ooh.
Ryan, we're extending an invitation to you to join us for this.
I may go, but not go to Solstice. I may just go and like honestly, I don't want to do that. Like that's not something I get pumped up to do. Like I'm excited you guys are going, and I think it's awesome. But here's what I'll do. I'll tell you what. I'll go with you, and I will set up the tee time at Eugene Country Club, and I'll also set up a tee time at Pumpkin Ridge
Oh, he's up in
up in Portland. And then those that don't actually go to the Solstice event can go with me to Bend, and we'll play Crosswater and Pronghorn. How's that sound?
That's not at all what I was talking about.
Oh,
but okay.
You do what you do. I'll play Bandon. I just don't want to play 4 rounds in one day. Are you crazy?
Well, this is the crazy thing. Clayton, first off, are you at all interested
In doing,
the Solstice next year at Bandon?
I don't know what that is.
4 rounds in one day. Tell okay, so it's 4 rounds. I'll tell.
Four rounds in one day.
And so you literally play.
in the first 5
No,
minutes
he
of the
heard, but
episode?
you didn't actually explain what Solstice was. You just said it's an event.
Well, I didn't want to
So-
drag on.
I know. So Solstice is it's summer solstice at the Bandon Dunes. They also do it at Sand Valley. And essentially what you do is you play Bandon Trails, Bandon Dunes, Pacific Dunes, and Old Mac all in one day.
Yeah, that's a hard pass.
Right?
That's so hard to
That's
pass.
what I'm saying.
My God.
But we'll come with you the day before and we'll play Old Mac. We'll play Pacific Dunes. We'll make you love them. I mean, I'm in for that. Hey, I'll tell you what.
During the first 5 minutes, you said I didn't have time to digest it. It was run to the next course.
Thank
I like to digest my golf.
you. I do too.
There's
But we'll support you.
there is
I'll caddy.
there is a
Ooh.
something else that may
Oh boy.
turn you onto the yes.
Okay, give me.
Sheep Ranch opens
Throw
next
that
year.
hook.
Ooh, Sheep Ranch would be good.
They're not sure if it's going to be a part of it, but it may. Be
So here's the thing, though.
To 90.
I'd
holes.
still go, and I will play before and after the event. Probably before, because you'll be exhausted after. So maybe we play like the 2 days leading up to it, and set it up, and have anybody that wants to come join. I'll caddy for you.
Mm.
I'll caddy for you. I'm not a horrible caddy. You can ask Clayton. I'm not
So
the best caddy.
you'll lug my
I might get on my
bag
cell
around
phone.
for 90 holes, but you won't play.
I might get on my
For
cell
sure.
phone.
you might get you disqualified.
Hey, but I know how to pick the right club.
Oh,
I just don't know how to keep my cell phone in my pocket.
Yeah, about 6 holes. Like, well, I'm going home early.
hey, you're on your own, buddy. Good job. See ya.
Hey, I didn't tell you these hills are really killing me,
Yeah.
so I gotta bounce.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Anyway, we gotta. So Bandon Solstice. So open invitation. There's 2 spots open. You actually have to be a cool person, and what I mean by that is you actually have to not be a bot. So send a DM to what is it? Breakfast Ball. What's your handle now? At the Breakfast Ball.
The Breakfast Ball Golf Blog on Instagram.
The Breakfast Ball Golf Blog.
The Breakfast Ball Golf Blog. Or at Chasing Daylight.
Chasing
Podcast.
Daylight too, either one. DM and Matt will get to you and chat with you about coming out. I'm down to come out. I think it'd be really fun to get a bunch of people together, go play Eugene,
It was
go
fun.
play at least one of the courses
We
at
had an
Bandon.
absolute blast.
I'll take some guys. We can either go before or after and go hit up Bend. I mean, if you're into beer, Hop Valley, Deschutes,
I was there.
all 10 Barrel, all of that's out in Bend. So like a couple of days or a day out there, make your way into Eugene, do a little Portland action. I mean, it'd be a great trip. I'm just saying, Pac Northwest, it's the best. Just not 6 months out of the year when it rains all the
Yes.
time. Yeah. All right. Cool. So what's up next? Can we drop a teaser? What's a teaser?
We're gonna have on the next episode. We're looking to have the brains behind AmCaddy come on and chat about his new speakers that are coming out. Which I got on the phone with them the other night, and they got some really cool stuff coming out.
Sweet.
And it's great for people who enjoy music on the course, and it's even better for people who like to piss off people with music on the course. They've got some downright, I believe he called it, just obnoxious
That's awesome.
speakers that there are going to be available. So we're
There's a
looking
guy
forward
at
to
the
having
country
him.
club that plays in the member guest that we could really use that for next year. Clayton and I might take you up on that.
Well, hey Clayton, thanks for taking the time out of your schedule. He's a family man. He's a hard worker. So we appreciate him taking some time to join us to chat about some golf.
Guys, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to the next one.
Best way to contact you?
Best way to contact me is clayton.brown@wilson.com. If you have any questions on any of the products, hit me up.
Yeah, hit them up.
We'll do. Thanks, Clayton. We really
Thanks again for
appreciate
being
it.
here.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in, and look for a new episode coming up here 5-6 days maybe.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Let's go chase some daylight. Bye.